has been a long time. This is an episode of Operation Wolf starring me, as you know, Charlie Black. So I just want to apologize for the long time it's been since I've last done one of these videos. And I figured during the time of the coronavirus, I kind of catch up and kind of give you guys an update in terms of what's been going on. So as you know, I started this channel to pretty much track and blog my weight loss journey, the war on my lovely fat, hence the WOLF acronym. But I've been losing that battle. I just recently turned 40 years old, and I weigh currently 400 pounds. So if you think of that from the moment you're born, and I was a heavy baby, so I was like 9 pounds, I've essentially gained, for the exception of my adolescent years, 10 pounds a year since the day I was born, consecutively. I love to enjoy, I love to indulge, but that's no excuse. I mean, that should be balanced with exercise and all of the above, but I've been good diet, but I've been losing that battle. So, where have I been the last 2 years, I would say, since I've done a video? Where have I been? So to give a little bit about my background, my family doctor, at the time when I was doing these videos, had passed away. I guess the circle of life. Things happen. Healthy guy, I suppose. I mean, I didn't know much about him, but he appeared to be healthy. Mid-40s. I wouldn't say more than 50. Working, doing his practice, and just all of a sudden passed away. So, and as you know, I'm in Canada, I'm in Ontario. I don't really know what the protocol is in those kind of situations. So, just kind of okay, is somebody going to take over his patient files? Is somebody going to contact me to let me know that they're my new family doctor? What's the protocol? So no one got in touch with me. So working in hospitality and such, you observe people, but people also observe you. And I met this fantastic gentleman who used to stay at the hotel once or twice a week, and he noticed that I had a limp. And he asked me, he's like, what's going on? Are you okay? Sports injury? What's going on? And I couldn't tell him. So, I mean, everybody has an opinion, and he's great. He suggested, or he thought maybe, that I might have blood clots in my leg. And if I continue to leave blood clots unattended, right, that could lead to amputation or even worse things down the road. So, like any normal person would do, automatically I went and looked up WebMD and blood clots and this and that. And that just led me down a dark path of information. So, circling back to my family doctor being passed away and stuff like that, I started calling the city and stuff like that. Okay, what do I do in terms of finding out who my family doctor is? And this will all tie into the weight, but it's a long drawn-out story, and I feel like I owe you an explanation. So they introduced me to another practitioner who was taking on new patients in the area, but the process of that is he has to conduct an interview, find out if you have any kind of ailments, pre-existing issues, family history, etc., etc. Then upon approval, he'll take you on as a patient. So I went through the motions, and he accepted me as a patient. And not to say that the previous doctor who passed away was worse, but talk about a difference in terms of night and day. Now, my previous physician, the relationship was, if there was a situation, I'd call him and see him. And that was the end of the discussion, which was great. That worked for me. Got a cough or whatever the case may be, go and see him. Back pain issue, that was it. This new doctor, he's very, very thorough. So, upon his assessment, he went through all of the motions. He wanted to do a blood pressure test. He wanted to check for diabetes. He wanted to do sleep apnea. He wanted to do the weight test. All of the above. I was almost overwhelmed in terms of the amount of care that he was putting into me. But again, just, did all the work and all the stuff. Well, lo and behold, during this process, I discovered that I've developed sleep apnea. Anybody who's dated me will tell you that I snore like crazy. I'm a bear. Right? And that I also have high blood pressure. No diabetes, which was fantastic, but I mean 2 of the 3, and this was discovered in my late 30s, because I'm 40 now. This is about a 2-year process. It was just kind of like unacceptable to me. So he was like, put me on a blood pressure medication to help bring down the blood pressure, introduced me to a dietitian, which was absolutely fantastic, and then recommended me to do, after doing the sleep study, to follow the instructions of the sleep study and get a sleep apnea machine. I wasn't a fan of, when you go like 35, 36 years of your life without anything on your face, the idea of a sleep apnea machine to me was intrusive. So I wasn't a fan of it. I was thinking about the surgery options and this and that, and that portion of the medical exam I pretty much ignored. But that caught up to me, because I just recently found out during that process that if they discover you having sleep apnea and you do nothing to neglect, I guess, the disability, or however what you may call it, they can take away your driver's license. And driver's license, when you live in the suburbs, is a very, very important part of life. So I wasn't going to have any kind of part of it. So I got back on board with the sleep apnea machine and got the sleep apnea machine. And it actually does make a difference. When they say that you're having, let's say for example, you're waking up, 2 to 3 times a minute over the period of a few hours, right? That starts to add up in terms of getting back to sleep and feeling rested. So over time, like any relationship, I learned to love the sleep apnea machine, and now I stand by it. But again, this is not an endorsement for CPAP machines. It's just, it helps me out. So went through those motions. So now a couple of months have passed. I'm seeing the dietitian. I'm on the sleep apnea machine. My blood pressure is down, but the weight is still up. So my doctor suggests that I do the surgery, weight loss surgery. So I'm not opposed to it at this point, because like everybody else that says on these types of channels, they've tried everything. I've tried the diet, I've tried the exercise, and I've tipped the point, right? Where it's like, now it's affecting my life in terms of high blood pressure and, my sleep apnea and stuff like that. So I've committed to doing the surgery. So you get on the wait list, and the whole weight loss surgery thing, they have a whole team involved. So they'll have a psychologist that sees you, a dietitian that sees you, nutritionist. They do all kinds of blood work. You go to their classes. This is the process of over about 1.5 to 2 years. That once you become a successful candidate for surgery, and you essentially, in order to have a certain type of surgery, you have to have a BMI of over, I'm going to say 45%. So pretty much 50% of 45% of my mass, 400 pounds, is fat. So if you say, let's round it up to 50 and cut it to half, I'm 200 pounds body fat. That's a lot of weight to carry. It's slowing me down. And as you can see from my channel and from the random videos that I post, when we're not talking about Operation Wolf, it's the adventures of Charlie Black. And, being told that you can't do certain things, not because you're afraid of them, but because of your size or your weight, is really discouraging. And that's not the type of life that I want to live. So, fast forward now, it's 2020, it's April, and my surgery is scheduled for May, but with the coronavirus, I'm fearing that they may cancel my surgery in order to make room in the hospitals for other sick people, or people who actually need that bed. Now, my bariatric surgeon or team hasn't contacted me as of yet to let me know if my surgery has been postponed, and I'm crossing my fingers that it's not going to be. But that's essentially where I'm at right now. I'm going to try and keep you guys. So I apologize for that whole 2-year void. Oh, and I don't have blood clots in my legs, because that was the motivation to go and see, the doctor and stuff like that, which was good. It was a suggestion that was just led me down the rabbit hole. But I did discover other things, obviously, the sleep apnea, the high blood pressure, which are now both in order now. I'm feeling rested. I'm more effective at work. I'm not sweating as much. I'm calmer. So all these things to take into consideration. So as I go through my journey, I'm going to try and share as much information with you as possible. I had a bariatric journal in my car, but my rental car was broken into over the holidays just recently, so all of that information was taken from me. So I'll try and share everything that I have from memory, or try and recuperate a lot of that information from my medical team once I get in contact with them. I'm obviously, during this time period, not going to go to the hospital for any non-life-threatening reasons. Well, yeah, that's the update. I'm back. Thank you for continuing to follow me. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. There's multiple things that we're doing here. So we got the Operation Wolf, which is obviously a little bit of focus on my health and fitness. But right now, before we get into the fitness, it's just my health. So we're going to see the journey. I'll take you through the journey of the bariatric surgery. And then obviously on the other channels, The Adventures of Charlie Black, and then Journey to Dreads. Yeah, that was like my hair thing. My dreads now are exactly where I need them to be. I'll do another video on that. But anyhow, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, share. If you have any kind of comments, or if there's any kind of topics that you want me to go over, please tell me. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, or any kind of questions that I can answer, I will. What I'll do now is I'll try and do a video leading up to the bariatric surgery, and different things that are kind of crossing my mind, and different questions that I've come across on the web, and I'll cover those topics. Anyhow, welcome back. Thanks for continuing to stay, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel, and look forward to more videos. It's Charlie Black signing off. Thanks for watching. This is Charlie Black, and that was another episode of Operation Wolf. If you enjoyed those videos, check out these videos beside me, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you in the near future.